Hello students, Professor Benavides here. Let's continue to talk about Lab 3, Chapter 3 to be specific, Task 5. So we're going to talk about shortcuts. This is a long one, so I think it's better if I just read it and do it as I go along. So it says, before we create some shortcut icons on the desktop, create a file called resume.rtf in your documents folder and put anything you like in it for text. So I'm going to go ahead and start WordPad. And I'm just going to put in anything. If I can spell. And save. We know that the default format for WordPad is RTF. So I'll call it resume. And it's going to be saved to the documents folder. Okay. Close the file. Now it says create the following 5 shortcuts on your desktop: resume.rtf, the documents folder, the C drive, Paint, and the calculator. Place them close to each other, preferably on a clean desktop. Test the shortcuts and then close them all. Remove the dash shortcut icon from any shortcut name. So let's go up, let's just do that part and then we'll come back and figure it out. Now there are many ways of doing shortcuts, so let's try and look at some of the ways and let's see if we can be a little inventive about how this can be done. So we want to create a shortcut to that resume file. So the first thing I want to do is go to that folder. And here it is. So one way to do this would be to right mouse click on here and go create shortcut from the menu, shortcut menu. Then you got to get this file and then drag it over here and drop it. Okay, close the folder. So here's my first shortcut done in a very classic kind of way. Now the next one is the documents folder. So I could open up the File Explorer. Here's the documents folder. If I right mouse click on this, I don't see create shortcut, right? So what we could do is just drag this and drop it on the desktop. Okay, close. So now I've got 2 shortcuts here. We'll test them in just a minute. The next one on here is the C drive. Pretty much the same idea here. We'll go to the C drive, right mouse click on it. No, I don't think I see shortcut on there, right? So we'll just drag it onto the desktop. Create link, it says, but it ends up saying shortcut on there. So as you can see here, we can create shortcuts to files, folders, drives, and now applications. So one of the more classic ways I said is to, you got to know the name of the file. Let's say I want to do a shortcut to Paint. So you got to know what it's called. It's called MS Paint. Like it's been like that since I remember, like Windows 3.1. So I got to open the File Explorer. In the File Explorer, I've got to then navigate C drive, Windows. I think it's in System 32. So let's go ahead and look for that folder. And then I got to scroll really fast because it's and spell right, mspaint.exe. Let's go ahead and look at this. These, hopefully this won't take too long. MSD, we're looking for MS Paint. MSI, so keep on going. Did I pass it already? I guess I did, right? MTs. MST. So yeah, I did pass it. So let's keep on going backwards now. Sorry about that. MS Paint. There it is right there. See that? Look at this. Is an interesting part. Now we're in System 32. You really shouldn't be here unless you really know what you're doing. All right. Okay. So we're going to right mouse click on here and I'm going to go to where's create shortcut? There it is right there. Maybe I didn't see it. See how it says it can't do it? Do you want to put it on the desktop? Sure, that's where I was going to put it anyway. So there it is, right? All right. So when I was gonna look at the properties window, but let me contrast that with another way of getting to doing the same thing. Now I know that Paint on the menu is inside the Windows accessories. So I could just go ahead and come here and then drag it like this. I like this method because when I do that, I don't have to end up removing the shortcut icon. I mean, rename these. Like right now, I really don't like that dash shortcut. So to rename them, you got to right mouse click here and go rename, and then get rid of that part of the. I mean, if you want to keep that, I guess it's okay, but I prefer not to have that. So let me go ahead and get rid of that. So to rename a file or a folder, you just, simply right mouse click on it. You may want to have that on the C drive, as it looks like, so you can know, so that you can know for sure. What gives it away that it's a shortcut is that little graphic arrow or U-turn or whatever you want to call it. So I really don't need to have the word on there or even the word EXE. But look at this one here. I end up having to rename the whole thing. So that's too much trouble. Let me just go ahead and get rid of this one, right? Because I've got this one anyway, right? All right. So let me just show you one thing before I bring in one other one. I'm going to right mouse click on here and go to Properties. And see, this will show you where the file is. Remember how I went to System 32? Well, this could be working backwards. If let's say I drug it off the menu, but I wanted to know where it was on the file structure. You can do many other things with the Properties dialog box. You can change the icon. You can do, because there's a variety of tabs. You can get information as to how big the file is, or the application, or so there's a lot of information you can get on here. You can make keyboard shortcuts or whatever, right? Let's do one more by dragging it off. Let's get, like, for example, the calculator and drag it off and put it here. So as you can see, this is dragging it off the application list off the start menu is a nice way to create a shortcut. Okay, so now I want to just go ahead and continue going. It says here, place them close to each other, preferably on a clean desktop. Test the shortcuts and close them all. I think I did that, but let me just do that just to make sure. Here's the C drive. When you open up the C drive, these are really important folders. As time goes on in the class, we'll learn more about the Windows folder, the users folder, the program files folders. Needless to say, this is where part of Windows resides. This is where your user accounts reside, inside of users, and then your application programs, depending upon whether they're 64-bit or 32-bit applications, will be in these program file folders, and we'll be discussing them more as time goes on. For right now, I just want to make a shortcut to the C drive. The Documents folder is where most Microsoft products go by default. So that if you start WordPad and you want to save, it's going to save there. So if I double click on this file, it will open up in Word. If you have Word, I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you don't have Word, it'll open up in WordPad. The way to open it up in WordPad is you have to actually open up WordPad first, and you'll file open. Okay, so let's open up. Let's continue going on here. I was going to open this, and now it says open the Properties dialog of Paint app, of the Paint app showing its target location. If necessary, move the dialog to side so it does not overlap any shortcuts. Do a print screen of the region showing only the shortcut icons and the open dialog for the Paint app. Do a snip out the area. Name this print screen file task 5 shortcut icons. After your print screen, you may delete the shortcuts because you're only deleting the shortcut and not the actual file, folder, disk, or program that it points to. So let's go to right mouse clicking on one of these, Paint, go to Properties. Let me move this underneath here so I can see the target location. That file is in System 32. We know that System 32 is in the Windows folder. So now I'm going to go ahead and snip out that area. Start the snipping tool and make sure I have a rectangular snip. And let me just go ahead and cut that out. There we go. Nice and easy. All right, so now we'll just go File, Save As, and I'll call it Task 5, Shortcut Icons. Okay, well, that's it. Let's verify that I've got everything that I need inside of my folder. Let's go to view. I like details view, and I'm going to arrange them. And yeah, it looks good. Tasks 1 through 5. Remember, if you click on a file, go to preview, you'll be able to see what it looks like. And so far, things are looking good. All right, so that's the end of chapter 3. We'll be going into some other ones in just a minute. So if you're finished with these, you can just go ahead and do a selection net. I don't know if you noticed that. Selection net is when you click in a blank area and just drag, and then just drag them to the recycle bin if you're feeling in a very Mac kind of mood. All right, that's all I've got to say about task 5. Thank you.